Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to be remaking a track that's similar to Ivy Lab's Orange. I'm doing this to study their production techniques, learn about their arrangements, their sound selection. So follow along with me and we'll see what we can learn. Alright, so we start with a build. And the main sound for this was an Omnisphere patch. Distorted zap bass. That was a good start. But it needed grit. So we put some Decimort, Infiltrator, some tube, a little delay and reverb for some room, saturate the mids some more, and automated a low pass filter so that it opens up over time, and then a little RC20 to make it sound a little more analog. I added these Omnisphere samples called Little Tuned Spring for some attack, and then automation on the group, just some twisting and turning infiltrator presets, because these tracks require a lot of movement and atmosphere. And that's paired with this Mr. Carmack sample that I chopped up and stuttered. Comes in on the second half. It opens up as this filter opens up. It comes in and it's paired with a vinyl texture. The second half of this build is another Omnisphere patch. That very tense synth, and keeping it interesting. First, it's called Cycle Oil Cans, but to keep it interesting, I automated the amp filter envelope on both of the source samples. So if you look at the instrument rack, this thing is just growing and morphing the whole time. And the notes that these MIDI envelopes are playing, very simple, just half steps. G, G sharp, bum 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 bum. It's mostly about the rhythm. Bum 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 bum, bum 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 bum, bum 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 bum. This one plays some different notes. It jumps an octave. That's all. But still just half steps. It's mostly about the rhythm. And this preset is accompanied by another, this is one I made. I just found these random screechy samples that help build the tension. And I automate Infiltrator with those as well. And pair it with a long sweep. Some percussion that opens up over time, and that's our build. A lot of sound design, a lot of movement, mostly automation. And that takes us to our main part. I think the bass is what drives it. It's the Serum patch from Excellent Sounds. It's just a sub that's distorted, a saw wave tuned low, envelopes dialed in. It's got some distortion on it, some modulation to help it. That's kind of why I rely on their presets. I'm not a big sound synth sound maker, but I like to affect them later on using stuff like Black Box and this really helps. Cutting the lows off, this parallel processing chain. So we can really hear the amp, because there's a lot of mid-range in the reference bass. And then some automation on the drops. That's just Infiltrator opening up. And then a big thing is I put the bass in a room. There's many different ways to do that, but just throwing it, cutting off the low end and putting a strange reverb on it can really add some ambience to your bass. They say don't put reverb on bass, but they're lying. And then these drums, one thing to note, they never repeat, and it's that halftime 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, but you want to change up where the kicks are. The only thing that's consistent is the snares or the claps, but the percussion on top and bottom kind of just goes crazy. And we got two different kicks going, a regular trap kick and some stomps, and some very distorted shakers and open hi-hats. I abuse these with Ableton Overdrive, Decapitator. You really want this to sound dirty. I have it running through my drum bus. If you screenshot these, boom, boom. This sounds good in a lot of different contexts and will cut through your mix. I would probably turn the Decapitator off if it wasn't an Ivy Lab remake or sound-alike. And we automated, of course, some high pass, low pass on the drops. And then these vocal chops come in. I called them chucks. It's actually animal samples. Just processed. A little altar boy, infiltrator, more infiltrator, EQ, and compression. Layered it with a pluck for some body, a synth for another dimension, and then destroyed it for some ambience. And the end result is tension. And for these beat parts, you know, the bass goes from these half-step movements to a similar rhythm, but just one note. And the drums, dialed back a lot. I went from that clap to like a snap sound, but of course it's gotta sound dirty. So that might even be like some Foley or found sounds. But those beeps, the Mr. Carmack pack, shout out that. If you want to make beats like this, grab that from Splice. That's a very similar universe. And of course, there's automation on it. Nothing is just sitting there. Everything's growing and changing. That's how these tracks work, really. And then we're pairing that with some sweeps. And then while our automation changes, we repeat that's how I make tracks like Ivy Lab. I do this for educational purposes. It's not necessarily I'm trying to be like them or jack their style. I just do this to learn, and it's definitely helped me grow into my own as a composer. So thanks for hanging out. Hope you learned something. You can grab these sounds from my Patreon. I'll have them all up there. DM me if you have any questions. Leave a comment if you want to break things down further.